We talked about formatted string or f-string in one of the previous videos, where we can insert the curly brackets as placeholder for some variable and the value of that variable becomes the part of the string. We can use the f-string for some number formatting as well. What do we mean by number formatting? For example, if a variable has value 10 million, and if we print that either directly as a or using the f-string, it will be printed as 10 million, but it is quite difficult to read if it is 1 million or 10 million or something else, because we find it difficult to count the number of zeros. But there are ways we can format the f-string in a way that it shows the number with commas as thousand separator to make the value better readable. We will study about different formatters in this video. To use formatter, we use a colon after the variable name as done here. And after the colon, we specify a formatter. For example, for comma as thousand separator, the formatter is simply comma. And now you can see it is better readable as 10 million. Of course, instead of a variable, we can have the direct value inside the curly brackets. There is also underscore as thousand separator used for this purpose. The comma or the underscore separator improved the readability of the output, but the value 10 million on line number 1 is still have that issue. The large value in program code is still not well readable, so there is a way for that. In any number we can place underscores wherever we want, and those are simply ignored by the interpreter. Now line number 1 and the output both are easily readable. Remember, in program we can only use underscore in a number and not the commas. The underscore on line number 1 are not necessary to be placed on the thousands place. We can put those anywhere we want. The output underscore are still at thousands place because of the underscore formatter on line number 2. Basically, the underscores used on line number 1 have nothing to do with the formatter used on line number 2. Over there we can use the comma formatter. Now let's explore more formatters. There is a sign formatter specified as plus symbol. This will display the sign of the number as well. Plus 15 is displayed, and if the value is minus 15, it will be displayed as minus 15. Now let's see the formatter for rounding off the decimal values. For example, if we have this floating value, and we want to round it off to 2 decimal points, we can specify the formatter as 0.2f. If we have 0.836 here, that will round off to 0.84. Now let's see the percentage formatter. This 0.56 in percentage means it is 56%. So to represent that as percentage, the formatter is %sign. We can also use multiple formatters in a single statement. For example, in addition to %, I also want to round this off to 2 decimal points, so I can use 0.2 here but without f. And you can see both formatters have been applied on the result. Now let's also add the sign formatter. And you can see effect of all 3 formatters. Now let's add the comma formatter too. The value is less than 1000, so we don't see the comma. So let's try this on a bigger value. You can see the effect of 4 formatters here. We have another formatter as E, lower or the uppercase. This is scientific notation format. The E plus 03 means 10 to the power 3. Let's specify 2 more formatters with this. Now it's time to explore different number systems. You know we have the decimal number system having the base 10. Then we also have the number system as binary, octal and hexadecimal with the base 2, 8 and 16 respectively. The default number system used in Python is decimal number system. For others, we can specify that with the number. There are formatters to display a number in a specific number system. For decimal, it is 0D, but usually we don't use that since the default number system is decimal. So if I have a number 23 and I don't specify the number system formatter, it is in decimal format. Or I can also specify that as 0D. Now instead of 0D, if I specify it as 0B, it will be displayed in binary number system. 23 is 10111 in binary. We specify the octal number system as 0O. 23 is 27 in octal. For hexadecimal numbers, we use 0x, x in lower or the uppercase. So 23 is 17 in hexadecimal. These were the number system formatters, but we can also use the same number system code directly on the numbers. For example, I can define a binary number 1001 as so. And if I print that, it will be displayed in the default number system, which is decimal. 1001 is 9 in decimal. You can try that with other number systems as well. Now we will see some alignment formatters. We can align the numbers to right or left or center while displaying those. For example, for number 22, if I want to align it to right, the formatter is greater than symbol. And after the symbol, we specify the length of the digits, for example 5. So this 22 will be displayed as 5 digits length aligned to right. You can see there is a space of 3 digits before 22, so the total length taken by 22 is of 5 digits. Instead of blank space, we can specify the characters to be placed there. We need to specify that before the greater than symbol, for example x. This is also known as padding. You can see the total length is of 5 characters and the remaining space is padded by the character specified. Instead of x, maybe padding by 0 is better. Now let's see what happens if the actual length of the number is greater than the length specified in the formatter. So there is no effect of alignment or padding here, since we cannot fit a 6-digit number in a 5-digit space. There can be a very good use of this 0 padding. While working on binary numbers, we usually have a register size or the length of a number. For example, in 1 byte size, we have 8 bits. So working on 8-bit binary system, we wish to represent the binary numbers in 8 bits by padding zeros on the left. So let's specify 0 padding and 8 as the size, and a number like 23 specified in decimal system. You can use 0b to specify a binary number if you want, but I want to represent the decimal number 23 in binary number system in 8 bits. So after this 8, I should write B to specify the binary number system. I am using padding, alignment and binary number system formatter here. And we have the binary equivalent represented in 8 bits. Very similar to right alignment, we have the left alignment. We specify that with less than symbol, and we can specify the padding character as well. And lastly, we have the center alignment, and for that we use circumflex symbol, also known as caret. 22 is aligned at center with a total size of 5 digits. So these were the different formatters, and we also saw some specific uses like 1 byte representation of a binary number. Let's see another specific example of one of these formatters. Suppose I want to take the roll number of the student and I want to display the complete registration number of him or her by adding 2019-MCT- with that roll number. So let's take the roll number. I am not using a val function here since the roll number is always an integer. Now I am printing the complete registration number by placing 2019-MCT- before that roll number. But additionally, what I want is that the roll number must be represented in 2-digit format. So if the roll number is a single digit like 1, it should become 01. And if it is already in 2 digits, 0 should not be added before that. I can do that by 0 padding and setting the length as of 2 digits. So if the roll number is 5, it is converted to 05. And if it is 55, it will remain 55. Let's see another scenario which I will copy from another file. This simply prints few numbers in kind of a matrix form. This is a 4x4 grid, but see the 12 and 16 which are misaligned because some numbers are single digit and some are 2 digits. And if we print that by specifying the length as of 4 digit without any left padding, you can see the difference clearly. Before I end this lesson here, let's reconsider the rounding off formatter. For example, the 0.2f means rounding off to 2 decimal positions. But we also have a built-in Python function named as round for this purpose. Inside function, we first specify the number directly or by variable, and then we specify the number of digits after the decimal point for rounding off. In lab session 4, we have these two tasks which are quite similar. In task 1, you will take number of seconds from the user and will convert those into minutes and seconds. Of course, the seconds in the output will be less than 60. This should be the output format. You need to think about second to minute conversion using division, remainder division or the float division. The task 2 is simply the extension of task 1, where you need to convert the seconds into hours, minutes and seconds. Now the minutes and seconds both will be less than 60 on output. This was a quiz task I took in one of the previous classes. Then on task 3, you just need to use the formatter so that minutes, seconds and hours are shown in 2-digit format. Of course, hours can go beyond 2 digits, but at minimum it should be of 2 digits length. So that's all from this lesson. Thanks for watching.